Hello and welcome to a special edition of the Cavaliers Corner. I'm Logan Smith, here with the head coach of the softball team for the Walsh Cavaliers, Anna Ball, and welcome. You've been here on campus for about 3 months now, so, what's your initial reaction?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me here, Logan. I'm, excited to be here. I'm excited to be part of the Walsh community and really excited to kind of figure out what it means to be a Cavalier.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what the foundation and the basis of these first couple of weeks have been. So we've been practicing for 2 weeks now and really working on fundamental skill set instruction and building the culture that we want to build here. And so it's been a really fun process. The girls have great attitudes, and my staff's set, and it's exciting. It's exciting to I'm glad Coach Barley chose to come and be a part of the program and start this here and be a part of the beginning here with us. And it's our 4th year coaching together, so it works out really well, and we work really well together, and so we're excited to kind of bring our experiences and our backgrounds to Walsh and see how it plays out.
Well, speaking of that experience and backgrounds, talk about where you came from before, just give a little info for anybody, because a lot of people watching this might be familiar with the Cavalier program, but not necessarily where you were at before.
Sure. So I'm originally from Mansfield, Ohio. So I went to Mansfield St. Peter's High School, go Spartans. So I know we have a lot of alumni here at Walsh that are, from St. Pete's. So after St. Pete's, I played at Notre Dame College in Cleveland and played there for 4 years and was an assistant under the current head coach, Amy Kyler, for 2 years. Had a great experience and was just really lucky to get a head coaching position after that experience. And so I moved away from anyone and anything that I knew and moved to Central South Carolina and was the head coach at Southern Wesleyan University for 3 years and was able to help them get on the right track, turn the program around from 6-36 to upwards of 30 wins within 2 years, and then wanted to be closer to home, and that's kind of where my journey has brought me. And so I took a job at Adrian, Michigan, and kind of got them on the right path, and then really had a unique opportunity to start a program from scratch at Lawrence Tech. And that's where Coach Jackie and I have been the last 2 years, is starting the program from scratch at Lawrence Tech in Southfield, Michigan. And then Dale gave me a call, and I came down here and had the interview. And to me, being from Northeastern Ohio and going to Catholic schools, I've always had an affinity for Walsh. And so it's one of those things that I'm very, very excited about, and we're going to be very intentional about the culture that we build here and very intentional about the Catholic distinction that we want to bring here as well, and also about just what it means to be a Walsh softball player, what it means to be a Walsh Cavalier, and make sure that there is a Catholic identity within that, and also make sure that we are representing Walsh in the best way that we know how and the best way that we can. So yeah.
That was a detailed answer.
It was.
I want to rewind a little bit,
Sure.
going back to your Notre Dame days, because you've had some pretty impressive accolades during your playing career. Talk
Thanks.
about those a little bit.
Thanks.
Brag on yourself a little bit. That's
hard. It's hard for a coach. I mean, I think as a coach, if you want, some of the best advice I ever got was to try to coach your teams better than you ever were, and so that takes that type of mindset, and it takes that type of work ethic. And so I came from a small school with 46 people in my graduating high school class, and was just lucky enough to get an opportunity at Notre Dame College. I mean, it's hard to get a college scholarship to play any sport, and so was just very lucky to get that opportunity, and I never wanted to take it for granted. Like I said, coming from a small school and being given an opportunity to play, and I've always been a Cleveland Indians fan, so I was outside of Cleveland. Really, was excited about that. But to be given that opportunity was, to me, one of the most important experiences at that time in my life. And I never wanted to leave anything on the field. And so, I worked really, really hard. My teammates worked really, really hard. I've had great teammates who are lifelong friends, great coaches over, my career from Little League all the way up. And so that kind of led into the college career that I was able to have with my teammates. I think that's the most important aspect of it, is that we had a great team. I think if you talk to any of us again, we would say, hey, that 2009 team, we would all go back and do again. We finished 6th in the nation. Just had some really, really great people. I always, like to say, I hate bringing up Michigan football, but there's a really good story that Jim Harbaugh tells, and he talks about how, his senior year, he asked his quarterbacks coach. He said, "Hey, you think we'd be good this year?" And he was joking around because they were number one in the nation. They're the Wolverines, they're the best team in the nation. And the coach said, "I don't know." Harbaugh got kind of mad about it, and I was like, "What do you mean you don't know? We're the best team in the nation. I'm the best quarterback in the nation." He's like, "I don't know." He's like, "I'll see you when I see you in 10 years and 15 years and see what kind of people you become and what kind of husbands you are and what kind of contribution you've made to your community and what kind of service you do for other people. To me, that means that we had a good football team. And if in 10 years I see that, then I'll tell you we had a good football team." And so to me, the experience that I had when we got inducted in the Hall of Fame as a team in 2016, to me, that was more important than when I got inducted in 2015. I don't know, years old.
Yeah.
Brought them together. But as a team, to come together and see everybody 10, 15 years later, and to see what amazing mothers, a lot of us had become, and what, great leaders and mentors, and how we were involved in our community and the people that we became.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, looking at that from now, I had been a head coach for 6 years. Looking at that, it's like, man, that's what I want to do. That's the legacy that I want to build. That's what I want to leave. I want to be able to say, in 10 to 15 years, bring a team back and say, we had good people. We had a great softball team and they played together, but we had really good people, and we made a difference, and it's a lasting legacy. So I'm long-winded, so.
Totally fine, but I was trying to get out of you that you are one of the best hitters in the history of the NAIA.
Thanks.
What was the record again? Refresh me on that.
Yeah, so I hit 516 over my 4-year career.
That's not a bad number.
It was actually the address of growing up of my, so it's
Even
fake,
better.
right? Yeah. So so I was able to have a really good career at the plate.
Yeah.
Hitting a lot of times is a mindset.
Hitting 300 is good, and 400, but you hit 516. That's, well, obviously, it speaks for itself. It's the record.
thanks.
So, I mean, obviously you're an offensive-minded person because of that.
Right.
So, any hopes of influencing your playing career into the team going forward?
Absolutely. I think that's something, I know that's something that every program that I've been a part of, that I've brought that offensive mindset, and that's why it works really well with Coach Barley and I, because she's very defensively minded and I'm very offensively minded. And that's not to say that we both don't appreciate the other side of the ball.
Oh, of course.
I mean, we do.
You appreciate the sport. That's
exactly,
just the way it is.
Right? But I kind of bring that offensive mindset. She brings that defensive mindset, and it really becomes this mixture of, to be a good softball player, you have to hit the ball, you have to play good defense, and you have to have good pitching and catching. And so we're able to have that mixture. And I'm excited to see how, we're able to plant these seeds really this first year and see how those seeds grow offensively, defensively, pitching and catching over the next couple of years. I'm really excited to see how those seeds blossom and how they bloom and what they turn into, because it is a process, and it is something that takes time. And we're really going to be very intentional about planting really good seeds and making sure we water those seeds over time so that they grow into something very meaningful and something that has good roots and good foundation, and that will be lasting.
That's a good thing to do, especially now. Not only are you the new coach of a new program, new to you program, but we're also in a new conference.
Right.
Just talk about your thoughts about what you see going forward and kind of any expectations or goals that you have set for the first season in the GMAC.
Sure. So our first goal is to make conference tournament. That's our first and foremost goal. That's going to be what we strive toward, regardless of win or loss record. We want to make that conference tournament. There is just something special about postseason. It brings this type of mindset. It brings this energy that, hey, we want more. Especially if you make that postseason, and no matter how far you get, now I know what I'm working toward, and I'm going to work harder because this is what I want now. And so that's really our biggest goal, is to be top 8 in the conference, make the conference championship, make the conference tournament, and hopefully conference championship. But to make that conference tournament in our first year, we're going to be really intentional about doing those things. And so these first 2 weeks for Coach Barley and I have been really about understanding what we have in terms of our personnel, in terms of our team chemistry, our skill set, our talent, how do we utilize that talent in the best way possible so that we can have that conference, we can make that conference tournament. And so it's a process. It's a process, but we're excited about it. The girls are excited about it. They want it. And so we're just, we got to put the work in to be able to go out and get that. And so that's what we're trying to do.
Well, definitely looking forward to this upcoming season. Love the energy you've brought into the Cavalier program so far, and hopefully we'll see how well that translates. Hopefully we will be in that conference tournament here, come May of 2018.
Absolutely. I think that's something that's, that's attainable. I think that's a goal that, we have, when we started the program at Lawrence Tech with, 20-some freshmen, our only goal was to make conference tournament. No program had ever done it before in their first year. And so it's kind of like a new beginning here as well. It's a new conference, new coaching staff. We're going to have that same mindset that we bring here to Walsh. Why not us? So our motto kind of for this year is win, but that's just not on the field. It's win in all aspects of your life. Win in the classroom, win in community service, win in your social life, win on the field, win off the field, win in the way that you talk to your professors, win in the way that you talk to each other, win in your enthusiasm for the game, your passion for the game. I'm sure you can tell I love the game very much, and so
just a bit,
right,
just a little bit.
And so I want to kind of bring that culture here, and that's what we're trying to build. And it's kind of funny though. I made a logo for win, and it was the W with the swords with the IN. And so in our first team meeting, I was talking about, hey, our motto is, everybody's about hashtags, so it's #win. And one of the girls said, oh, I thought it was Walsh in. And then it developed into this. Now we just say Walshin. So everything we do, we're Walshin.
I like it. I did see that, and I was like,
everything we do, we're
okay.
Walshin. So we represent Walsh. And to me, it means something bigger. As coaches, it's always a learning process, and there's always, an opportunity for a learning experience. And so I love it. I love that #Walshin, because everything that we do, I want them to understand that they are representing Walsh, and that, that name on their back and the name on the front of their chest is so important, and that we are, and everything that we do, we're Walshin. So it's exciting.
Well, it was very nice to talk to you today,
you too,
and like I said, looking forward to it this upcoming season.
Absolutely. Thanks. Go Cavs.
She stole my line.
I
was going to say, anyway.
I don't know why I threw the horn.
It's okay. It's all right. For head coach Anna Ball, I'm Logan Smith, and like she said, go Cavs.